Hello, friends. It's me, Fuzz. Thanks for listening to 15 Minutes with Fuzz. I know. I didn't get you an episode last week. I have good excuses, even though we all know that excuses are like Brussels sprouts. I got nothing. Mother's Day weekend, I volunteered for the Wisconsin 9/11 Memorial at Tough Mudder. It was a lot of fun, but simultaneously, a lot of work. I was beat. And then you know how the song goes. It's Friday then. It's Saturday, Sunday. What? And then I took off Monday, and then all of a sudden it was Tuesday, and I didn't have this episode ready for you. So, it's Tuesday again. And I'm going to give you 2 episodes this week to make up for it. First up is Noel Dedrick of Dedrick Homes. Noel is a realtor, and I brought her in to talk about buying and selling homes in our area here in the year of our Lord 2023. It's currently an interesting ride, to say the least. So with that, here are 15 minutes on the state of the housing market in Washington County, Wisconsin, with Noel Dedrick on 15 Minutes with Fuzz. Welcome to 15 Minutes with Fuzz. Noel, can you please tell us a little bit about yourself and your background in the real estate industry?
Yeah, so I actually started in real estate back in 2005. And in that same time frame, my husband and I were moving from Milwaukee up to Washington County.
And I know you help homeowners buy and sell homes in a number of different counties, but as a realtor and the owner of Dedrick Homes, what inspired you to focus here on Washington County? What brought you here and what inspired you to focus here?
Well, I know we were looking for something out of the city, just a little bit of a slower paced transition from Milwaukee. So we decided we wanted to come out to where there just weren't as many people, population was a little bit less, and just nice, friendly people in the community.
So what are some of the key reasons why people that you work with choose to live here in Washington County? What makes it unique and attractive to home buyers?
I think the sense of community is very important. I know many of the school districts in Washington County are also highly rated, and just family-friendly atmosphere, just being able to, know your neighbors and know different people throughout the communities.
Could you describe the current state of the housing market here in Washington County? What kind of things have you observed over the last few years?
It continues to be a seller's market, and we're just facing a continued slump of home sellers or people that are looking to actually sell their home. So we just have many more buyers than we have sellers. So it just continues to be a great time for people to sell their home, but a difficult time for those buyers that are out there looking to purchase.
There's not a lot of homes for sale right now, are there?
No, not at all.
Does that make your job more difficult?
It certainly does. It certainly does. I definitely like to say some of the gray in my hair is because of the market that we've had these last couple of years. But it's great, again, for sellers. And it's just that you have to go in strategically when you're working with buyers to get them the home that they're looking for.
Sure. Are there any particular neighborhoods or communities here in Washington County that have been growing in popularity recently?
I do think we're in Kewaskum specifically, which I love, and I know that community has just been growing, doing more things. We've got so many shops and different restaurants out there. And together with that, with the farmers market that are out there, those are pretty cool. Those are in West Bend, Kewaskum, and other areas as well.
There's lots of great stuff going on, and it's, I'm a little biased toward Kewaskum. Everybody listening knows that. But it is, I think all of Washington County right now is a great place to live, and there's a lot of great things going on that's moving the county forward and being a place where people are moving from the city or from other areas to Washington County because it's really an attractive place.
Right, absolutely. And even all of the shops even that have opened up in West Bend in the last 12 months, it's just great to see the growth. I mean, that, there are companies out there looking and have chosen, West Bend or Washington County to move into.
Yeah, and I would even say having West Bend as kind of a hub and Hartford as kind of a hub, it's got the whole county. There's, no matter which, if you live in a little community or in one of those communities, what you need is really close no matter where you are, right?
Absolutely, yes.
Can you share some insights on the types of homes that are in demand right now in Washington County? Any special features or styles that homeowners or home buyers are looking for?
Well, there's still, even though it's a seller's market, I think buyers are still out there really wanting things or homes that are I'm in nice condition, nice shape. I've been actually working with a few different home builders now because the existing inventory is so low that I've found or figured out that probably new construction is, still something that people are interested in, but just trying to get that on the table.
Or would you say that it's pretty much people are buying whatever they can get their hands on these days? Is there a part of that too right now?
Yeah, that's a big part of it as well. But my focus too, and what I always try to say to my buyers is make sure you love it. I'd like to resell it, but make sure you love it. I don't want to resell it because you decide that it really wasn't the home for you.
Yeah, definitely. And in this market where it's hard to find a home right now, that you do run that risk of, buying the first available and then maybe not it being the house that you love. And that's when it comes to building, right?
Right. Building is another opportunity that seems to, be intriguing to more people, just again, based on the low inventory that's out there.
Sure. So has the home buying process changed in the last few years, partially with technology and online resources, but let's even say with the tight demand, how has the process changed in this market?
Well, I think as time goes on, just based on what is out there online for people to find themselves, and then just kind of being able to figure out, for the most part, where they want to live and the reasons, as to why. Maybe it's the schools or commuting to work. So some of southern Washington County works well for those that are commuting into the Milwaukee area. But I think just online tools, that those have definitely changed and continue to change, trying to get buyers more educated with what's out there on their fingertips.
So at my business here, we have a number of newer, younger families and such. A lot of marriages and a lot of babies happening here at my office. As a real estate expert, what advice would you give to first-time home buyers, especially those here in Washington County, and again with today's market in mind?
Really take the time to research, an agent or agents that work locally to the areas that you're looking, and probably even, do an interview, one or two, with the different agents. Just kind of see how you connect with that agent and, how long have they been out there, kind of what strategies they might be able to use or have used, with reference to the offer to try and get you a winning bid. And also, it's very important to get pre-approved. But if you start with a realtor, they definitely have connections for you as well for local lenders that are excellent at what they do. But, just being able to sit down and talk with an agent and ask as many questions as you have. It is a process for sure. And you definitely want to feel comfortable with whomever is helping you.
On that pre-approval statement, obviously for a first-time home buyer, that's important. But in the negotiation process right now with the way that, offers on homes are coming in, is that another part of the pre-approval letter? Is that an important part of that, or?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. To even go out without having the pre-approval, which helps you know how much you can buy. The type of loan program is also important, but just knowing that you're pre-approved and you usually won't have too much time to decide if you want to make that offer.
Yep.
So it's just best to have that in hand and for that to be submitted with an offer. We have so many offers coming in on properties. So to even have a chance, you do want to show that seller that you have taken those steps and gone through with a lender or a bank to figure out what you can afford.
How long are homes typically staying on the market these days?
Oh boy.
Hours?
Yeah. I had one this last weekend where we got in within a few hours of it being on the market and the buyer loved it, jumped at it, and that was that. But, generally maybe a day or two.
Okay. That's not long at all. So if you're thinking about selling your home right now, probably, and you said it's a seller's market, but this is probably that time, right?
This is the best time. Yes.
Especially if you have something else that already,
right. In line or in mind. Yeah. Absolutely. It's a great time to sell.
Do they have any special programs or resources out there that can help people with the buying process right now?
There are some resources out there, depending on, I know there are some banks and even lenders that'll do buyer seminars. So you can, look to find any of those. And then again, just having a well-connected realtor to help you with the process, I think will put you in a good position.
What do you see happening in the future of, in this area in terms of growth, development, community involvement, those kind of things?
Washington County just being a great source and progressing into the future. So in Jackson specifically right now, they actually just broke ground for the Washington County Next Generation Housing Initiative, which is fantastic. Those are homes, both single family and two family homes that will be in the price point of about $320,000 up to $420,000 max. So that's actually a wonderful addition for people that are looking to get into the market with keeping their budget, a little bit relevant to what's going on today.
Yeah, and there has been, there's obviously conversation. $325,000 is still a lot of money for a house, especially for a first-time home buyer. But in Washington County, I read recently that of the $300,000 homes recently sold in the last month, I believe it was, the lowest price one was $369,000. So it's so $325 is actually.
It's actually a good starting price point in 2023.
Yeah,
it really is.
Exactly. So the days of our $60,000 homes are no more. But the days of our $60,000 cars are almost out of here.
Well, exactly. It's all relative, right?
Exactly. I say with sad tears rolling down my face. If somebody would like to talk to you and Dedrick Homes about buying or listing a home, what's the best way to get in touch with you and to learn more about your agency?
Yes, I do have a website. So that is www.dedrickhomes.com. DEDRICKHOMES.com. I am on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn.
Noel, thank you for coming in to 15 Minutes with Fuzz. Really appreciate it. Thanks for your insight on the state of the real estate industry here in Washington County. We appreciate it, and we'll see you around.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
You're very welcome. Thank you again to Noel Dedrick of Dedrick Homes for joining me on this week's episode of 15 Minutes with Fuzz. Depending on how they come through in your podcast player, this should be the first of two episodes, but maybe it's the second of two that come out this week for you today, okay? Learn more about Noel Dedrick and Dedrick Homes at DedrickHomes.com. That's DEDRICK Homes.com. If you have an idea for a guest here on 15 Minutes with Fuzz, hit me up. 15withfuzz@gmail.com. Spell out the word 15. Don't use the number. 15withfuzz@gmail.com or go to fuzz.cc/guest and fill out the form. That's fuzz.cc/guests. New episodes, mostly on Tuesdays. Hit the follow button to get this show delivered to your favorite podcast player as soon as it comes out. And with that, I'll talk to you in like 2 minutes or next week for the second episode right here on 15 Minutes with Fuzz.